But Michael Tomasky, thank you so much for joining us here on the Don Lemon Show. The article that you wrote is fantastic. I wrote something similar for an op-ed for the Daily Beast, but not quite, I think, as poignant and as relevant as you are. You're right. On planet Earth, Obama can't be indicted, but we live on planet Trump. And I think Donald Trump will do anything that he can, number one, to divert attention from the Epstein files. And number two, because he's really jealous of Barack Obama and he really wants to be Barack Obama.
Both of those things are absolutely true, Don, and thanks for having me. And hi to my pal Katie, who was really bringing it there a couple minutes ago. Yeah, both of those things are true. And then I'd add a third thing that kind of explains why this is happening. It's happening because Trump has built this culture around him, this crazy culture around him, where these people have to anticipate his needs as if he's a little boy, his desires, not his needs, his desires, and try to please him. So this is happening really because Tulsi Gabbard stepped on it with respect to Iran, right? And she crossed Trump on Iran, and she said that Iran wasn't particularly close to a nuclear weapon. He shot her down. She was in the doghouse. She was afraid she was going to get fired. There were press reports that she was going to get fired. So she has to go back and think, I've crossed dear leader. What can I do here to make him happy? Let me think. Oh, I know. Let's spend some of the American taxpayers' money targeting one of his enemies. And that's really where this starts. And so she holds that press conference on July 18th to say that she's got this shocking new information about Obama. She doesn't. It's a little bit arcane to go into. I explain it in the piece, and it's explained elsewhere online. But she's conflating a couple things and stringing together things that prove nothing about what Barack Obama may or may not have done.
What I love, Michael, is that you did not waste the reader's time by going through whether it was true about Barack Obama and there was evidence. You said basically none of this is true. If you don't believe me, TLDR, right? Too long don't to read or whatever that saying is.
Right.
You're like, it is not right. Check the facts. Do the fact checks yourself. But do you actually think that he will go through it that he'll actually do it like I said, and then I'll hear from the lawyers? Because I think he might.
Well, he might. It depends on how serious he is about this and how badly he wants it. If he communicates to Pam Bondi that he wants this to happen, what evidence do we have in these last 6 months, Don, to suggest to us that she won't do it? Everything that we know from these last 6 months suggests that she will do it. Do they have a charge? Do they have an actual case? Can they get a conviction? Do they have witnesses? Probably the answers to all those things are no, 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 and no. But, this is Trump world. A conviction isn't really the point. The point is the revenge. The point is the besmirching of Obama's reputation. The point is the evening up of the score. The point is, making his and Michelle's lives miserable for however long they can make them miserable. That's really what this is about. The White House posted I hesitate to use the word artwork, but, they love this kitsch fascist art of Trump. And they post new ones every once in a while. And they posted one last week of Trump, looking heroic, sort of fireworks in the background. And the legend at the bottom said, "I was the hunted, but now I'm the hunter." And "now I'm the hunter" was in capital letters. So that's how he perceives of himself. So, we still do live partly on planet Earth. I think it's a long shot. Long shot, but as I said on TV this morning, it's not a non-shot.
Okay, so but this is what he is posting, in relation to this. In addition to what you said, he posted this AI video of he and Barack Obama in the Oval Office, and then all of a sudden Barack Obama gets arrested and then ends up going to jail. That's how desperate he is. Roll this. Let's show it. I mean, as if. But this is what they would like to happen. Dina, have you seen this? You've seen this, huh, Michael?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I mean, that in itself is so disturbing, right? Like, we can't normalize the fact that a president of the United States is using AI for that kind of video. But I agree with Michael. I think he's very possible, he may do this depending on how desperate he is for a distraction. And because he has always seen, Obama as competition and Obama winning, and he may want to even this whole, criminal indictment thing up. But, we still have court system, and it's funny. I like to go on X sometimes and just see the comments people make to posts, because I don't have a lot of MAGAs in my actual life. And so many of them are like, I'm so tired of all these Republican promises that we're going to go after people and nothing actually happens. And it doesn't actually happen, because once you go to court, you need the evidence and your law on your side, and they don't have it. It will get dismissed either because they don't have the facts and the law, or because of the Supreme Court Trump immunity decision they just made. Trump knows that. He might not want to embarrass himself with it, but he might just do it as a way of, kind of like throwing the bomb in there and making, changing the conversation.
Katie, I want to read something from Michael's article and get you to respond. He basically said something similar just moments ago, but in one of the paragraphs, Michael writes, a normal prosecutor would think of things like, but who will have testimony against him? Who will testify against him? Who will have testimony against him? Who will say that they saw him do X thing? Fair questions to be asked in a democratic society. But these are not normal prosecutors. And whether this is still a democratic society is increasingly open to question. A conviction isn't the point. The public humiliation, the besmirching of the reputation, the evening up of the historical score, these are the points. They can be accomplished, even absent a conviction, as Obama is bloodied up in the right-wing press for as long as the trial process takes. Katie?
So Michael Tomasky is one of the best writers I've ever read. And I will tell you this, he's incredibly elegant, and so he's too polite to say this. Trump is a racist. So this is what is happening here. Trump is a racist. He is a white supremacist, white nationalist. And what Trump wants to do is Trump wants to take down a black man, number one. Number two, he has been obsessed with Barack Obama for years. Do you not remember the birther conspiracy was started? Well, it didn't start with Trump, but Trump's the one who really pushed that agenda. Why? Because he got upset because he got mocked at the correspondence dinner. Do you remember that? I mean, The reality is Trump is insane, and Pamela Joe running the DOJ, she don't give a shit about ethics, and she doesn't care about professional responsibility. And she has shown that she and others are complete law lackeys for Donald Trump. Remember, she promoted election denial before she made it to the Department of Justice. She was on his election denial legal team. The biggest, dumbest part about all of this is she'll get some type of indictment from the DOJ, and putting aside whether or not there's evidence to be able to substantiate any of this. Here's the funny thing. He's going to have to use, if I'm Obama, I am not only going to be nonplussed by this, but I will invite this, because guess who's going to be testifying against Donald Trump? Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He's the freaking guy who helped lead the charge in 2020 with the Senate Intel that had a report that decidedly said that the intelligence community said that Russia interfered in the presidential elections. Continues to do so, not past tense. Right. So the funniest part about all this, though, is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If anything, I guess there's two things, Don. One, maybe Obama has a pocket pardon. Who's going to say that he didn't? I had a pocket pardon. I pardoned myself, but I don't even need it because I have presidential immunity for my conduct. So,
Teacher Katie, Professor Katie, can I jump in, please? Because of Donald Trump, aren't presidents granted immunity for doing all Barack Obama has to say, I was acting in my role as a president, and he's immune from prosecution. So then what is the point of all of this? And look, Katie, you're exactly right. And I'm glad that you could say it. You're not as nice as Michael. You're like me. And that's why I wrote this. I wrote this yesterday. It posted on the Daily Beast, why Trump's obsession with Obama is even more twisted than you think. And then I said, Donald Trump's obsession with Barack Obama isn't about politics, It's about race, resentment, and the lie that white mediocrity deserves power. So I think
I
that
didn't
you're
read
right on.
this, but apparently you and I are kindred spirits, Don. So I apologize that I did not read it, but yes.
Yeah. So what say you? Because he can't be prosecuted, can he? At least according to the Supreme Court. Michael, Katie, Dina?
I mean, he can. Here's the thing. The Supreme Court said that a president has complete, absolute immunity with their Article 2 powers. The rest of the presidential functions is qualified immunity, essentially. So the question would be, was he acting with his Article 2 power? Maybe you could say national security, or was it an election issue, which is not a core Article 2 power? So that would essentially be the question for any action by a president.
Yeah. Michael, so then what is next with this? How are you watching it? Would you like to be proven right or wrong?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, this is one case where I'd rather be wrong, I guess, Don. The answer to the question that you just posed to me depends on the answer to a different question, which is how intense does the Epstein matter get for Trump? Because the longer that goes on, and I have a feeling it is going to go on, and I have a feeling it is going to get worse, then the more likely he is to try to find something to divert attention. And an indictment of Obama would be a pretty tempting something for him. But, again, like back on planet Earth, I got some responses to this column on Facebook. So I have this Facebook feed, which is kind of an interesting combination of some of my old high school friends and some of the people who are my friends in my current life. And some of my old high school friends have my politics, and some of them decidedly do not. And it was interesting to see that the ones who do not kind of laughed this off and thought it was crazy, or kind of thought it would not be a good idea. So maybe actually even in MAGA world, maybe even in the Trump White House, there is someone who will say, Mr. President, let's think this through. Let's think this one through. Maybe. I don't know. Look, it makes me mad when I hear liberals say, well, they can't really mean that, because they've meant everything they've said for the past 10 years. So they mean this. But they might not be able to do it.
And, just to add on to that real fast, is I also think Trump realizes that he got a lot of sympathy from people for being indicted, and he knows that could happen to Obama. And I could see him not wanting to make Obama more popular, which I think would happen if he got indicted. So I think there's that I would not be surprised. He liked the attention in a weird way of being like the victim of the Democrats. And I think he realizes that would happen with Obama.
Okay. Michael, thank you, sir. It's a fantastic article. But real quick, Michael, I just want to do you think Ghislaine Maxwell is going to testify in front of Congress or be deposed again?
As long as one of Donald Trump's defense lawyers is there looking after her. I don't know. She may, but this is another sideshow, and Katie put it really well. And just the idea that Blanche was doing that questioning is just insane.
Yeah. Michael Tomasky, the editor of The New Republic, thank you very much. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never, ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.